What's up, everybody? It's your boy, it's Elliot. It is Sunday morning, and we got a lot to catch up on over this weekend because there's just been so much going on. And as always, let's start out with some good old Halo Infinite news. This article was dropped on the 24th, the same day as the first episode of Halo the series. That's why it's been brushed under the rug. But this article is just kind of a TLDR of everything that they've been saying in the blog post from Bonnie Ross and Joseph Staten. We've kind of already heard all of this. Let me just give you the summary. Halo Infinite and Halo the series, the goal of it is to reach a broader audience. We all know that Halo is pretty much a niche-based game at this moment. Going from Halo 4 and on, even to Halo 5, the audience never really grew. It just stayed true to loyal fans. And when you're competing against games like Call of Duty, against Fortnite, Apex, and all those other top-tier FPS shooters, we just have to get a broader audience, more people playing Halo, because Halo, we all know, is such a great game. But no one's actually playing it, mainly because arena shooters just don't hold the same amount of popularity and viewership as they once did. And that's just the God's honest truth. And if you want to fight me with this, then beat this argument. When radios were around, before TVs, before all of this, when radios were around and every family had a radio in their house, people were like, oh, TVs, these boxes that can project images, this is going to be the future. And they're like, why do we need this? We already sit around the dinner table and we just listen to the radio and we get all our news that way. It's just called change and adaptation. And if you don't change with the time and you don't adapt with the times, you're going to fall out. And arena shooters, it's been like that. And I'm not talking about games like Valorant and CSGO, which are already a niche-based game, but their viewership and their game is just utterly different than Halo Infinite. It's not a team deathmatch compared with the Hardpoint and King of the Hill. It is really an S&D only kind of game. So it does make sense to me that Halo Infinite wants to reach a broader audience because at the end of the day, it's Microsoft. Microsoft wants to make money. And how Bonnie Ross even calls out the game is it's like, we wish we could have released back during the pandemic, right when the Xbox Series X and the Series S released, because it would have just been great for business. Which, of course, I'm completely fine with people who are running Halo wanting to make money, because ultimately, if they make more money, they're able to hire more people. They're able to do more things, get more resources involved within Halo Infinite, which is going to make a better experience for us. And talk about an experience, let's talk about the Halo the series. Leading up to this, I was very critical about it. I didn't think it was going to be that good of a show. And granted, we only have episode 1, which is kind of like the hook of the show. And honestly, the show is everything that they were hyping it up to be. It's going to be a Halo Infinite series based in like a different universe where different things are happening, right? So it's going to be based off, the Halo verse, but it's not going to be a one-for-one of the Halo games and the Halo books that we all know and love. And honestly, I feel like I have to give this show a 7.5 out of 10. There's really only one part in the first episode that kind of made me scratch my head, and I'm not going to give anything away at the moment, but if you want to join the Discord, I'll leave the link down below so you guys can join the Discord and we could talk about spoilers and everything there. But overall, I have to give it like a 7.5, 7.7 out of 10. It wasn't great, but at the end of the day, if you sit back, I had a vodka mule in my hand, or if you have a little smoky smoke, you're going to enjoy the show. Now, speaking of things I'm not a fan of decision making within Halo Infinite, is something that Joseph Staten specifically said, where it was a decision not to be transparent with the community on what's going on behind the scenes.
It's challenging to always be constantly open and transparent with fans because we don't want to expose them to the uncertainty and sometimes that churn that happens on any game development process. The decision we're making, though, and I believe this is the right one, even though it's hard some days, is to make sure that when we talk to our fans that they can rely on what we say. Fans are really soon going to be exposed to some really cool stuff that we've got going on for season 2. It's taken a little bit longer to get the engine up to speed. Communication's flowing in the way that we want to, but the engine is cranking, and I'm super excited about the next year and beyond.
I just think in today's day and age, the more transparency you can have with the community, the more understanding they're going to be. The more you try to keep the door closed, the more you're going to allow them to come up with their own conclusions of what's happening, and they're just going to get pissed. And as you can see, anytime Halo comes out with something, the community just drags it down. But I think that's kind of 343 shooting itself in the foot. Can the community be a little bit more receptive? Absolutely. But 343 has to give us some kind of hopium because we've just been soaking on copium for too damn long at this point. And you want to talk about sipping on some copium, I'm sorry, but Clayster from NYSL, or formerly with NYSL, this GOAT in the Call of Duty scene has been dropped. And unfortunately, There seems to be stuff going on in the background, stuff that we don't know, which is always going to happen. Whether you're in the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes that doesn't, pertain to what's happening on the court that affects the players and the coaches and the organizations. But he's already said that once free agency is around and he's going to let the cat out of the bag and explain everything that's been going on behind the scenes. And I know that the CDL recently made a switch to become a franchise league in hopes that, there would be a better environment for organizations and the players when you franchise a league. However, I think this is kind of asinine because fuckery is always going to happen. I'll go back to the NFL, the MLB, and the NBA. There is so much fuckery that goes on with the organizations and the players. We can look at what happened with the Houston Texans and Deshaun Watson. He seemed to be an upstanding guy. In the moment there was a little bit of friction, there just seemed to be this weird landslide of just allegations and defamatory things going his way. I'm not saying that's the same thing that's happened with Clayster, not even at all. I'm just saying the idea of franchising a league to promote a better environment for players and organization, if you think that's, what happens with that, I just don't think that's what happens. If you want a good organization with good players and a good environment, it's all going to be backed on the people who are running the organization and funding the organization. Nothing more, nothing less. And speaking of orgs and people running it, we got an answer to where our favorite freaking turtle from PBS, Franklin the Turtle, where he's going to go. And I mean Cloakzy, if you didn't know. I'm sure all of you knew. But Cloakzy is now a co-owner of Complexity along with Tim the Tatman. Now, seemingly, I've never met these two, but they seem like great human beings who are just really down-to-earth guys who you'd want to go to the beach with, open up a brewski with, and just chill out with. Seem like great human beings. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. They've been doing a lot of talks with Ninja and Jessica Blevins. I could see Ninja becoming a co-owner of Complexity too, and that's only going to help with what I think is about to happen. Because I am very excited to see where Complexity goes as an organization over the next 2 to 3 years. I think they can kind of compete with the big three, which in order is going to be FaZe Clan, Optic Gaming, and then 100 Thieves. Those three organizations have been doing big things. FaZe has Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is now entering in Call of Duty. He's releasing his own Denim album. I mean, the man is just getting the bag left and right. Then you have Optic Gaming. Optic just came off a huge win in the CDL. They got some of the big content creators like Zlander, Bobby Poff, and they're doing things in content. But they've been doing things in content in the gaming world. We all know that. Optic and FaZe have mounted themselves on the Mount Rushmore of gaming. That is absolutely true. And speaking of Optic, you have a former Optic player, Nadeshot, who left, now became a co-owner of 100 Thieves and put 100 Thieves on the map by signing people like Valkyrae, Courage JD, doing collabs with Attack on Titan. I mean, the amount that they're able to do, the energy that they have, even though they're supposedly a hoodie brand, is just fantastic. And yes, that is a shot at G2, which has been around longer than 100 Thieves, but who knows G2 esports? I don't. The only G2 I know is the off-brand Gatorade. And now that Cloakzy and Tim are co-owners of Complexity, I'm very excited to see what they do over the next 2 to 3 years. And I'll do a video later on about all the big names that they have signed already over the past year. And I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that I think Ninja is going to be the next co-owner of Complexity. Now, this is something that's a weird topic within gaming, right? And Jake Lucky, the golden boy of gaming, he broke this first. So I'll link his Twitter down below. If you don't follow him, you need to follow him because he is truly the golden boy of Twitter. And I guess you could say I'm trying to be the silver-haired boy of gaming because I'm trying to be the Philip DeFranco of gaming, where I take a big video and kind of give you guys a TLDR. So let me give you a TLDR of this situation of Tarek versus Jason R. Jason R over the past year has been accused left and right of being misogynistic by just dropping out of queues when he plays a ranked mode with females. As soon as there is a female voice or any indication that he's playing alongside a girl, he just backs out. And we all know that playing a ranked mode, when you just back out, there is some type of repercussion. You get a queue delay or you get banned for X amount of time, not allowing you to get back into a game. And all of this escalated to where supposedly Tarek, who is Jason R's friend, or former friend now, says that he just can't back him with this situation because it's just gone too far. So every time Jason R would get called out, he would come back with some type of rebuttal of like, I'm friends with girls, so how can I be misogynistic? I'm married to my wife, how could I be misogynistic? And it boiled down to this where Tarek was just trying to like interrogate the guy, question the guy, saying, hey, what is going on? Why don't you play with other girls in games? It seems very weird.
Come out and say that and say, so what is your, okay, Jason, let's hear it from you. Why do you dodge girls in queues then? Tell us right now, why are you dodging these games?
Why?
Yes, tell us.
I respect my relationship with my wife enough to not allow people to start flipping out that I'm playing with another girl.
Okay, and I totally respect your privacy and your personal decision. I just want to say I totally respect it. That's totally a personal, private relationship. It has nothing to do with me. I think it's weird. I don't agree with it. How am I supposed to defend you on this matter?
One second right now, really quick.
And his response was that he has so much respect for his wife that he just doesn't want to have to deal with playing with other girls in the game. And this is just, it is so weird, and supposedly because of the society we live in and the times that we are in, it is just easier to not play with girls. And I just couldn't find that further from the truth. I don't think it matters if you're a guy or a girl playing a game. At the end of the day, especially if you're making a living from playing the game and streaming, you have to just see it as a workplace.
Real quick, I have met countless fucking, pro players and their girlfriends and these girls at all these fucking events and all these things, and they've met my wife too, and on God, all of these people are way too scared to even come out at all and say Jason R is not the things you guys say he is. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the society right now that we're living in. Tarek, the motherfucker, is fake as fuck. He's met my wife. I've met his girl. I've met him in real life. Motherfuckers literally has the audacity to ban my name in his fucking chat. Because he changed up. He's so fucking, because he's finally got fucking views, and that's all he fucking cares about.
And any workplace is going to have a diversification of people within it. You're going to have brown people, white people, yellow people, boys, girls, people who don't want to identify. You're going to have all of these people, right? And you want to be treated by the actions that you put out there, right? So if you're a good human being, you want to be treated as a good human being. If you're kind of a prick, you're going to get treated like a prick. But I really don't know where I'm going to go with this video. I'm going to stay in the loop because it's just, who doesn't like some good gossip in the gaming scene? Am I right? I mean, that's what I'm here for. But I'm curious. Let me know down below. If you know more about this Jason R. Tarek situation, let me know. You could DM me. You could join my Discord. I'd love to talk about it. But this just seems like a very weird take to do. And it just seems like a weird hill to put that flag on in Jason R. sense of just being like, I'm not going to play with girls. It just seems very weird. But let me know what you guys think down below. If you'd like this kind of video, the Philip DeFranco version of gaming videos, please let me know down below. I'm here to make better YouTube videos each and every day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.